Hello and good morning. So right now you should have already done this warm-up, and I'm just going to talk you through so that you have the answers. All right, so the warm-up is on writing equations from lines given different amounts of information. Remember that whenever we're writing the equation of a line, we're writing it in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay, so if I'm working on number 1 where the slope is 4 and the y-intercept is 5, that makes it easy. I'm just plugging in for the slope for m and the y-intercept there, and I'm done. Okay, every single one is going to be the same, that we're trying to figure out what is slope, what is the y-intercept. So what I'm going to do is write that down each time. So the second one says slope is -2. So I'm going to write that down, that I've got that. And the line passes through this point, -2, 3. Well, that's not the y-intercept. So I'm going to have to go back to my y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in the slope for m. I have this point that has an x value and a y value, so I'm going to plug those in. 3 for y, -2 for x, and so now you can see the only unknown I have is the b value. I'm going to just simplify this. So now I have 3 equals 4 plus b. I'm going to subtract the 4. I'm going to get that b is equal to -1. Well, that's the two pieces of information I needed. So again, I just write this in, y equals, put -2, my slope in for m, put my b value in, and there is my equation. Last one. So remember, again, I'm going for this equation, y equals mx plus b. If I am trying to write the equation of the line that passes through 2 points, I still need to get the slope, and I still need to figure out the y-intercept. I don't have either of those pieces of information, so what I'm going to have to do is use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, because I'm finding the change in y over the change in x. So I'm just going to put -9, the y value on my second point, minus 3, the y value on my first. Then go back to the same starting point, 2 minus, and be careful here that we do minus a -1. I'm going to remember that subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. So my slope is going to be -12 over 3, which is -4. Okay, now I have the slope, so I can plug it in to y equals mx plus b, and then I can plug in one of my points. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this first point. It doesn't matter, I can use either of them. Put in 3 for y. Put in -1 for x. And again, b is my only unknown. So I have 3 equals 4 plus b. Subtract 4. And I get -1. So now when I write the equation, I have y equals, put in the slope, -4 times x, and then the y-intercept minus 1. Okay, so hopefully we're getting those now. We've done a whole bunch of those. Same process every time. Find the slope, find the y-intercept, plug them back in. So what you need to do is please bring any questions to class tomorrow. For now, what you need to do is go to the Google form and do the attendance form before moving on to the lesson.